back in the barn today. It's been a very long time since I've put any work into the Super Duty here. After our last trip, there's a bunch of stuff that I want to do to it. There's a bunch of stuff I need to do to it. The main things are I wrecked my radiator on the last trip. It's got a starter issue from the last trip, and that's definitely a wiring problem. One of the main wire going to my starter, probably just from age and mud and wear and tear. That's wasted. The thing's broke, so that's gonna have to get fixed. That's definitely not all happening today, but I at least need to start tearing the thing apart, assess some more stuff, see what else I find. And there's a lot of stuff I want to change on this truck too. There's also a lot of stuff that's unfinished. I still don't have a front bumper. I'm still not really happy with my headlights, or I'm constantly changing stuff all the time. And if anybody knows me, that's just how I am. I like fiddling with things, changing it around, change it to this. If I don't like it, change it to that. It's part of this is not just the fun that I have taking this thing out, trailing or whatever. I like changing this stuff. I like seeing what works, what doesn't, and just fiddling with it. So that's kind of what I got going on here, on top of the stuff that I have to fix. So I guess I'm gonna start tearing into this thing. So like I said, the little stuff that I want to change is stuff like this. This little plastic piece that went, behind the grill, tied into the core support. That was nice. That I liked having it there because I used to stick tools and nuts and bolts on top of it when I was working on it, and it was kind of cool. But every time I power wash the truck, you can't get in there. Look how dirty that is. And I spent a lot of time washing this truck after our last trip, so I'm leaving that piece off. Just stuff like that. I'm gonna kind of purge all the stuff I don't really need on this truck. And another big thing that I want to do to this truck is narrow the front end of it a little bit, like actually dove the body. I kind of hem-hawed around wanting to do that, especially after this last trip we went on. I want to do it. I'm constantly whacking the front of this truck on trees. It's just a big truck, and I'd rather narrow this thing down a little bit just for my tire to be able to touch first instead of my fender. So I'm gonna start with the radiator, start getting stuff out of my way and prep for that project. And that's nothing I've ever done before. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna just improvise as I go. Well, I got the radiator out. I moved the AC condenser, the trans cooler, the power steering cooler, all of that's out because I'm probably going to be changing it up, replacing it or moving it, whatever. But the radiator is the real core reason why I tore this apart tonight. Now we can see why that I have this thing apart. So the bottom hose still has a piece of plastic right here from the radiator. I'm going to switch the camera around here. You can see the bottom of the radiator is gone. So the hose would have went right here. The reason that this happened was, it was a dumb mistake. I wasn't paying attention, but I hit, part of the reason this truck's so tall too But I wasn't paying attention. I ran over a stump that was perfect height to clip that part of my radiator. I was going maybe 5 miles an hour and the truck didn't even feel it. It just wasted the thing. So now it's apart, so we can figure out what we're gonna do with it and get it replaced. So I definitely didn't need to tear the truck apart this far down to take that radiator out. But with the stuff that I want to do to the truck, I might as well have, just get the stuff out of the way, start from scratch. I want to totally change the shape of the front of this truck. So it's all got to get moved eventually. So we're doing it all right now. We're tearing everything out. I still have to get a radiator. I got tons of measurements to take, tons of different, time figuring out what I want to do, how I want to do it. This is a good place to start. I'm going to call it quits for tonight. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for a lot of changes on this truck. Thanks for watching.